We're going to take notes. All right, the remainder theorem, and we've done a discovery on that already. The remainder theorem says if the remainder is 0 when you synthetically divide, then that means that you found a factor or an x-intercept of that particular polynomial. You found out where it crosses the x-axis. Okay? So we're gonna test to see in this first example, is x plus 2 a factor of this polynomial? Okay? And if you're still having a little bit of trouble with the algorithm of doing synthetic division, you might want to have your purple sheet handy that you got yesterday. So if you want to pull that out as a reference, you're more than welcome to do so. Then, if it's not a factor, then it's just a regular point on that graph, and it's not on the x-axis.
So when you're asking what is this relation, you put the point where it is.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But I just never worried about.
There was a purple. Is there not any more in there? Pull out the whole folder. 2. So if we were going to synthetically divide this, what are we going to put in the little box here? -2, right? Because when I'm asking about the factor, I really want to know what would the x-intercept have to be. So we're looking at -2 when we synthetically divide. And then we're going to list all the coefficients. So we have 1, 3, -4, and -12. And I need to check to make sure that my exponents go down by 1 every time. So 3, 2, 1, nothing. So we're good. We're ready to go. So again, you can use that little purple sheet to help you with this little process, all right? Everybody get it written down? You're good? All right, get your synthetic division set up, please. So we bring down the first number, and then we multiply 1 times -2. Then we're going to add these together. I'm adding. 3 plus a -2 is the same as subtraction. Okay? All right, then we're going to multiply again. 1 times -2.
-2.
And we're going to add.
12.
All right, so because we got 0, according to the remainder theorem, this guy right here, this -2, is where this graph would cross on the x-axis. Okay, we found a solution to this big polynomial, this cubic polynomial. All right, let's write the depressed polynomial. So we're going to put the x's back in here. We started with a cubic, so we go down to a square. It goes down by 1. So we have 1x squared plus 1x minus 6. And the remainder is 0, so we don't have to write it down. So we can say, yes, x plus 2 is a factor. I'll raise it up. Because we got 0 as the remainder. Let me write that on there. Remainder is 0. Therefore, x equals -2 is a solution. That's what we found. Without having to factor, we found one of the zeros. Okay. To get the solutions? Yes. To get the x-intercepts? Yes. You absolutely could. Yes. Everybody hear that? She's found a way around having to do synthetic division to see if it's a solution or not. She said just put it in your calculator and hit trace -2 and see what happens graphically. Is it on the x-axis or isn't it? That is another way of doing these. Yes. All right. Okay, so we're going to do synthetic division. However, for practice, what goes in the box? -2. Thank you, Morgan. How come I didn't change it? Very good. Very good. You're killing it. That's awesome. Why do we have to put a 0 in here? Very good. There is no x squared, so we have to put this 0 as a placeholder because those exponents have to go down by 1. See, we skip. It goes 3, 1. Well, we need a little squared in here. All right, we're ready to synthetically divide. You bring down the first number, of course. Every time, yep. All right, we're going to multiply. 1 times -2. And then we add. Multiply. Add. Multiply. And then add. All right, yes. Here? Are you talking here? Because, I'm sorry, I have the thing backing up here. It's 0 because in order to synthetically divide, those exponents have to go down by 1. See, it goes 3, 1. We're missing the x squared term in here. So we can pretend like it says 0 x squared. So I have to use it as a placeholder. Okay? All right, we're going to write our depressed polynomial with the x's in it. I started with a cubic, so our answer is going to be what degree? Down. Go down. X squared. We're going to go down, not up. Okay, that's all right. All right, so 1x squared minus 2x plus 5. The remainder is 0, so what does that tell us? It is. It's good. So yes, x equals -2 is a solution because the remainder is 0. I'll raise it up. What would be, what is one of the factors then? Well, -2 is a solution.
No.
No, not 5. No. Kendall. X plus 2. See, that's the factor. Remember that relationship between the solution and the factor? All right, now I'm going to blow your mind. You ready? If I were to take this answer and multiply it to x plus 2, guess what you'd get?
Or is this the question?
Yeah, you get the question. You get the x cubed polynomial. Because I found a factor. A factor means things that I multiply together, right, to get the product. So if I multiply those two start items together, I would get the x cubed, I can't remember what the answer was, plus, there you go, plus x plus 2. Okay? All right, we got one more example. Any other good questions? We have some great questions today so far. I love it. What else I got? Yes. We're going to actually divide by when we think synthetically.
5.
Where are you getting 5 from? You're close. We're getting close. If we take this factor And set it to 0 to get our x-intercept. So if we solve this, so we're testing to see is x equal negative 1/3. Is that one of the x-intercepts? That's what we're testing. So a negative 1/3 is going to go in here. And yeah, I know it's a fraction, but that's okay. Because fractions are numbers too. Don't be a hater, okay? All right, check our exponents. Does it go down by 1 every time?
Yes.
Yes, okay, so we're good to go. So 3.
No. Yes.
Is it good? What, the exponent?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, and 0, none, okay? So we bring down. What's negative 1/3 of 3?
30.
Negative 1. Think about this. If you had $3 and you had 3 friends, how much money would each person get?
I'll give it out. Nothing.
They get $1. And since we got a negative on one of the numbers, we get negative.
Okay,
Alright.
so it's 3.
Yeah, so then we add. My pen just went out. Okay, we add.
They also be positive.
Yeah, good. Positive 1. And we add.
Me too.
So this one is a factor. Yeah, this one works out because that remainder is 0. So we could say yes. 3x plus 1 is a factor. And what's the solution?
Would it be, would be x plus 3?
Well, it's 3x plus 1 is a factor. What is its solution? Negative 1/3. See, the solution's whatever you,
Braces.
right, divided it by. So negative 1/3 comma 0 is a point on this graph, which happens to be an x-intercept. Okay? So that's what we're looking for. Oh, goodness. Good. We're good on time.